You're listening to Bedtime Stories with Meika J, a space to slow down, breathe deep, and fall asleep to stories that speak to your soul. Tonight's story is The Road Through Creekwood. So get comfortable, dim the lights, and let's begin. Close your eyes. I keep this old journal tucked under a stack of bills and photographs. It's nothing special. Brown leather, pages turning yellow at the edges, smells like rain and lemon oil. But these words, they built me. Every few years I open it, not because I need to remember, but because I like to see how far I've come. There's one entry that always pulls me back. It's dated August 2005. Creekwood, one street light, one grocery store. The kind of place where the air smells like rain and gossip. I was 23, pregnant, ashamed, and tired of explaining how I ended up that way. You want the truth? Well, the truth is, I got drunk one night, trusted a friend, and woke up carrying a consequence I didn't ask for. So I packed up, left home, and told myself Creekwood was where I'll start over. And that's when Malik started showing up more. We've known each other over the years, friends from church, cookouts, late night runs to the gas station. He was the kind of man who always made things easy, reliable, always just calm. When I found out I was pregnant, he never blinked. He just said, "You ain't gotta do it alone, Jay. I got you." And I believed him. He went to every appointment. He held every bag, sat in every waiting room. When Brandon was born, he held him even before I did. He cried harder than me too. So when he said, "You and Brandon should move in," I said yes. Not because I was in love, but because it felt like love. At first, everything worked. He worked nights at the paper mill, and I handled the home. He brought me breakfast every morning, kissed Brandon goodnight before leaving. We had a rhythm. Neighbors thought we were perfect. Bills paid, fresh paint on the porch, a man who handled his business, and a woman who finally looked happy. They didn't see how small I was starting to feel. It began with questions, quiet ones, like, "Who you texting, Jay? You smiling kind of hard." I would reply, "My cousin. She sent me that silly photo again." Malik. You got too many people in your phone." I brushed it off. He was just being protective, right? That's what I told myself. But questions turned into rules, and rules turned into habits. And habits, well, they turned into fear. It was late one summer night. I was lying on the floor next to Brandon's crib. The fan was turning slow, the kind of quiet that makes you start dreaming with your eyes open. I must have drifted off for a second, and then, "Malik, what are you doing?" "Who the hell you smiling at?" "What? What are you talking about?" "Don't lie to me, Jayla. I saw the message. Your boss talking about lunch and ideals, and you sent him a damn smiley face." "It was work. That's all." "You think I'm stupid? You got everything you need here. Don't go looking for more." That night didn't end with one slap. It ended with control. He started calling my job every day. "Just checking in," he'll say. But the truth, he wanted to make sure I was really there. Then he started showing up, parking across the street, sitting in his truck, pretending it was a coincidence. Coworkers started whispering, "Your man is here again." At first, I'll laugh it off, but then I stopped laughing. After that, the call started. Whenever I didn't answer right away, he'd leave messages like, "You forget you've got a family at home." The day he showed up inside the office, eyes sharp, smile gone, he waited until everyone could hear and said, "You don't need this job, Jay." And by the end of the week, I quit. That's when the walls started closing in. No jobs, no friends. Family visits turned into phone calls he wouldn't let me take. He'll say, "They'll just fill your head with nonsense." And eventually, I stopped trying. You tell yourself it's easier that way. Less arguing, less fighting. Until one day you realize you're the only one in the house who still remember what peace sounds like. It was one of those heavy Carolina nights, the air thick enough to drown in. He'd left for work. I sat in Brandon's room packing slow. It wasn't brave. It was done. One bag for him, one for me. Diapers, clothes, papers, cash I had been hiding under the bathroom towel. When I closed the door behind me, I didn't look back. I drove until I couldn't smell Creekwood anymore. That's the part the journal doesn't tell you. The hours he sat outside my job, the friends I lost, the family I stopped calling because he made me feel like they were poison. Back then, I thought love was about endurance. Now I know love's not supposed to make you disappear. Sometimes I still drive through Creekwood. The paper mill's gone now, and so is he. And I don't feel fear anymore, just air. Clean air, the kind you earn. People think that healing means forgetting. It doesn't. It means remembering without shaking. Close your eyes. The night's quiet now. And that's what peace sounds like. Thank you for listening to Bedtime Stories with Meika J. I hope you sleep well tonight. I'll see you in the dark. Good night.